Yes, sir.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Nikki Smoke, joined by Bobby and Jay, and you are listening to The Smoke Show. It is Fired Up Friday.
Woo!
It is basically game day in our YouTube space because we won't see you guys again until Victory Monday. It's personal this week. Anytime we play a divisional opponent, it is personal. It's Jets week. It's time to put our little sister back where she belongs, 6 feet under. I want to bury this team alive. I want to take all their hopes and dreams. I want to snatch it from them. I want to throw it on the filet. I want to grill it and then put a little seasoning on top, throw it back on there, sear it again, and stuff my fucking mouth with it. Now, I don't know if you should cook the way I just said to.
They can go see Queen Elizabeth, man. That's where they can go.
Go see the Queen. Go see the Queen. I want to take your hopes and dreams and send them to the Queen. I'll take your thoughts and prayers and freaking throw them to the Grim Reaper. That's how I'm feeling. I want to demoralize this team. I want to take their soul. And that's what we're supposed to do because it's Jets week and we don't lose to the fucking Jets.
Bobby's got the black hoodie on for the funeral.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm ready. I'm ready to make Zach Wilson want to quit football and just full-time pursue banging MILFs because he's elite at that. Like, this guy is a MILF hunter. He goes out and gets the job done. Good for him. I'll tip my cap in that regard. But when it comes to quarterback play, I'm trying to embarrass this guy. And Sauce Gardner, you ready to get the welcome to the NFL moment? Because when this guy's running at you, and yes, Tyreek Hill is playing in this game. He's questionable. He'll be fine. He's playing. Welcome to the NFL, Sauce Gardner. You're going to have to guard Tyreek Hill for 60 minutes. Good luck. Good luck.
Hey, Mike McDaniel already talked about it. Mike McDaniel is going to prove why he was the better hire from the San Francisco coaching staff.
Facts.
Guess what? We have so many injuries, all this type of stuff. We're still going to beat the Jets, and I'll tell you why. Zach Wilson, not that good. They don't want to say he's flashy because he has one play a game where he does something. But guess what? The rest of the game, he's inaccurate. He's everything that Tua isn't, if we're being honest. This guy doesn't know what to do. He'll make that one flashy play of the game, but then they'll be like, oh, and then they'll compare him to some crazy people, even though on a snap-by-snap basis, this guy's not that good. So I'm excited. Xavier is looking like he's going to play practice today. I think he's getting a pick. Maybe it's a pick 6 so he can grab his nuts on another AFC East quarterback like he did to Mac Jones last year. I think for a pick, he's had so many drop picks. I'm excited for Xavier to play. He's going to lock up whatever receiver he's on. I don't care if it's Garrett Wilson, Corey Davis, or Braxton fucking Berrios. All right? I don't care who it is. And then, obviously, we got the offense. Now, I know Tua's not playing, but guess what? Like Bobby said, Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed. Listen, by the way, very good corners. I actually have to give them credit, but there are levels to this shit. Let me quote Drake. There are levels. There's levels to this because Tyreek is the best wide receiver in the NFL, and Jalen Waddle's right up there in the top 10. And Sauce, you're a rookie, and DJ Reed, you might have been underrated in Seattle, but there is no way you are keeping up with these two freaks on the outside. The perimeter speed is crazy, and we're going to get a motherfucking W and stay in first place in the entire AFC.
You know what I just decided on the whim? I just decided this real quick. I'm going 2 gloves for the whole podcast in honor of Teddy.
You can't wear those gloves.
My gloves on.
I was going to say, that looks like some Jets colors.
Those are like some Jets gloves. They look jet green.
I'm going Teddy 2 gloves, bro. These aren't Jet gloves. These are Teddy 2 gloves. 2 gloves. Teddy, spready covers. I'm going Teddy on him, bro.
Spready covers. We're on the 2 glove train. Teddy 2 glove train. So here's the thing. I want to talk about the game before the game. Let's get all the dirty shit out of the way. The injury report. My God, you want to talk about something that controls you each and every single week? It's like, yes, the Dolphins win, or damn it, the Dolphins lose. And then you wake up Tuesday and you're like, oh, great, we have 13 starters on the injury report. And then Wednesday, it's like, oh my gosh, is Tyreek going to play? Oh my gosh, is X going to play? Is Waddle going to play? Is Armstead going to play? So let's update you guys on the injury report and let you know as of right now who's going to be out there and who's not. So the only 2 players officially ruled out as out is Tua Tagovailoa and Cethan Carter. No surprise there. Could carry less. I mean, obviously, I'd like Tua in the game, but like that's what we expected. Salvon Ahmed, questionable. He doesn't really play. Teron Armstead, questionable. He'll play. He never practices anyway. Keon Crossan, glute shoulder. That one concerns me. Tyreek Hill quad. I believe Tyreek will play. Xavier Howard, though, he's listed as questionable. I have a weird feeling that he's not going to play simply because his says groins, and not groin. And I pulled my groin too. It's tough.
We haven't even hit
I
the guy
pulled
who I'm
my
most
groin in high
concerned with.
school, and I remember like how painful it was to run full speed and what
Do
we asked
anything.
Xavier
Yeah.
Howard to do. If he has groins problems and not just one, I don't know, man. I could see him not playing, and we'll get into how we'll adapt to that. Robert Jones back. I don't care if he plays or not, to be real. Jalen Waddle, groin, did
What
not
Mike McDaniel
practice.
said about Jalen Waddle
Limited.
concerned the hell out of me.
Yeah, he said, I'm hoping Jalen Waddle can play. I truly believe Tyreek Hill's going to play. I don't think Xavier Howard's going to play. And Waddle is a true questionable, in my opinion. What do you think, Bobby?
In my opinion, I mean, so far from what I've seen for the Dolphins is when guys start the week, did not participate like these guys did, and then the week they start trending towards limited, you at least get them out there, you see them, and then they're questionable. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but I feel like in most cases, these guys are playing in the games. Like Waddle has been questionable. Xavier's been questionable. Hell, I mean, Taron Armstrong just doesn't practice, which I thought McDaniel was pretty funny saying that. He's like, yeah, they get the Allen Iverson treatment. Practice? You talking about practice?
Yes, sir.
But those guys are so good that they're able to just plug and play without that sort of practice. And the guys we're talking about are those elite caliber players. So in my mind, I mean, I think Tyreek Hill is 100% playing, especially the way McDaniel said it in the press conference where he was like, well, I can 100% guarantee you he's either playing or not playing. And that's what you can tell Robert Saleh with like a shit-eating grin on his face. McDaniel loves those little punny little jokes, little sarcasm. I expect Reek to play. Yeah. I mean, Xavier is on there with the groin. He's been on there with the groin all year. I know it flared up a little bit in the last game and he had to come out for a bit, but 10 days rest. He's a pro's pro. I expect Xavier to be out there, and same with Waddle, to be honest. Because at this point, to me, when I see these guys trend to limited and then go questionable, at least they've been playing. So until I see something otherwise, that's kind of what I'm going to believe.
I'm going to punch back on that a little bit, and this is why. First, just the way he said it, he was like, he's just hoping, which is kind of what he said about Byron at the start of the year, about week one, about he's hoping Byron Jones will be ready for week one. That's one thing. And number two, Bobby, the only thing here differently is we're coming off a Thursday game. Yeah. So usually it's okay. That makes sense. They're just playing limited, whatever. You've had 3 extra days. So you should be a little bit more healthier, you'd assume. So that's the only thing that's worrying me. Personally, I do think they're going to play. Like, don't get me wrong. But, like, it does concern me more just because we're coming off a Thursday week. And again, just the way he said it, he was just like, oh, I'm hoping. Like, I'm pushing for it. Like, that seems like a more true questionable one. But for Xavier Howard and Tyreek Hill, I do think they'll end up playing. So that's kind of my opinion on it. But to be honest, all of us are uneducated based on what's happening in the room.
Yeah, we're guessing,
so we can all just give our opinion. So, like, just to throw it out there.
We're not doctors. We're not doctors.
Yeah, a lot of people on Twitter want to talk about,
we're not doctors.
But, like, we're not doctors.
Not us,
we need like Smoke. I don't know if you're ever going to come out with merch. We need some, like, we're not doctors merch to come out, bro.
Yo, facts. That'd actually be pretty fire. That would be fire. We're not doctors. And we are definitely not Miami Dolphin doctors. I'm not going to lie. I saw that Hines video, and I was like, oh, that boy definitely concussed. And then I watched Tua's video. I was like, I'm not a doctor.
Yeah, when I watched the Hines video, I was just thinking, I hope his back's okay. It looked like a lower back injury, same as Tua, where you just kind of lose your balance for a little bit. I get it, bro. It's some back injuries that are popping up in the NFL. They're confusing them with concussions. It is what it is at this point. But, dude, Tua actually started like a movement. Did you see the game last night when Russell Wilson got hit and the doctors were like at the screen like, oh, is he okay? Did he get up? It's like, this is going to be a real thing now that's going to be annoying as shit. But
yeah, it's fine. I did tweet go crazy. By the way, all I said was that Tua is clearly better than both the quarterbacks on my screen. And guess what? We've gone to a point where Tua is just clearly better than 2 of those guys. He's like, dude, I have never been more appreciative of Tua than this week, I'll be honest, than watching the quarterback
I've never been more wrong on a quarterback than I was Russell Wilson going into this year. Like, I didn't think he was him, but I genuinely thought he'd be like a top 10, top 12 quarterback.
Of course,
and
yeah.
He looks horrendous.
Dude.
Like, he looks terrible.
I don't think
I'm with you,
Smoke.
I'm with you.
But that's besides the point.
Hackett's going to be fired maybe the way this is going. Like,
real talk, though, I'd rather have Teddy Bridgewater playing quarterback for the Dolphins than Matt Ryan. Like, that's a dead serious take. Matt Ryan is so bad. It's crazy.
No, Bobby, you were right. You said that last show, and we were like, nah, you're right. That was terrible.
Yeah, we have a gambling show, and I said that when I watch Matt Ryan play, it's like when you go to, like, the hospital and see people on their deathbed because they have, like, a vegetable brain, and the family won't sign off to pull the cord, so they're just sitting there completely brain dead. That's what I see with Matt Ryan. Like, just you should have pulled the plug and went out a champion, and now everyone's last memory of you is just you being a vegetable. Just pull the plug, people. Put them out of their misery. Matt Ryan, you need to retire. Anyway, so we got 36 people in here. We're only 10 minutes in. It's outstanding. If you haven't already, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I just posted my first ever poll. We're monetized now. I asked a dumb little question to get you guys. I was testing it out, see how it works. Are the Dolphins going to go 4-1? I don't know how the answer is 90% yes. It should be 100%. We're not losing to these Jets.
Who is not
and
voting?
If anyone wants to donate to the channel, you would be the first person to ever super chat on the Smoke Show. So keep that in mind. Even if it's $1, $2, $3, 50 cents. I have never made a penny off making content, and just know you would be the first person to ever donate to me, Bobby, and Jay in this whole show. Just keep that in mind. No big deal. You might win brownie points with us. Just saying, because we do a lot of giveaways. I'm just putting that out there. All right. Now that we got all that stuff out of the way, let me add one last thing, because if we're going to talk about the injury report, we should talk about the Jets injury report. One big injury for them is Max Mitchell. He is not playing, which is going to lead us into our next point. Key matchups and how the Miami Dolphins are going to win this football game. It all starts up front on the defensive line. I would love to see the Miami Dolphins go out there and rush 5 guys every time and drop 6 back in coverage and play zone. Because if we do not have Xavier Howard, you can't run that man coverage like you always do. You can't put that pressure on Keon Crossan if he is even playing. We don't know. You can't put it on Kader Kohu. You can't do that. You need to be able to get pressure on the quarterback. And with the Jets have a banged up offensive line. Their offensive line is dog water. Now they have a couple good young guys. I think his name's like AVT. AVT, Elijah Vera Tucker. He's a very good offensive lineman, but overall, we have a huge advantage on our defensive line, and we need to get pressure on Zach Wilson. And I know he's athletic, and he's got the arm talent and the arm angles like Mahomes and Rodgers and da-da-da-da-da. He still sucks. He's still Zach Wilson. His decision-making is abysmal. And to be honest with you, if we can't get there with 5 pass rushers, one, we have a problem. But I wouldn't even mind rushing with 4 and dropping 7 back and just letting Zach's decision-making, like if he beats us with his,
let him beat himself
with his decision-making, God bless him. I don't see that happening. I do not see that happening. Whoa, Lance McDonald.
Whoa.
This is lit. Earl Wright, my dog, brownie points, both of you. I'm writing it down. First 2 original donors. Legends. Thank you guys so much. That's the first $1 I've ever made doing this, and I've been making content for probably like 2 to 3 to 4 years now. Unbelievable. I love both of you guys so much. It means the world.
He won't forget your name, genuinely. Like it happens. Like on my channel, there's comments you get. You will not forget. He will not. I promise.
My God.
That's something that happens.
I'll never forget Earl Wright and Lance McDonald.
And this thing's going to the top too, boys. This is just the beginning. Guys, so welcome in early.
I got on early, baby. I got on early. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my God. But I would cry right now, but I can't be a bitch on air. But just know, Lance and Earl, I'll be crying later.
Special place in the heart, bro. But just another to pick up on Smoke's point. I wrote down a couple key matchups, and this was 100% one of them. I mean, the Jets have allowed 10 sacks through 4 games. You're averaging 2.5 sacks a game, and now the line's beat up a little bit, and now you have Zach Wilson back there, who I think doesn't process the field as quickly as Joe Flacco. Like, say what you want about Joe Flacco. Guy played in the league for what? Like, he's got to be like his 16th year or something. He has seen every coverage. He's seen every blitz package. His internal clock and decision-making is going to be quicker than Zach Wilson, who's coming off an injury and still very green in this league. So we've been saying this for fucking ever, but it's time for the Dolphins D-line to break out. Jalen Phillips,
yes.
but especially Jalen Phillips is a breakout guy. But Melvin Ingram, keep doing your thing, bro. You've been great this year. I'm looking for the Dolphins D-line to really get after it, and especially because we got some secondary issues. Like we already said, Xavier, groins, might not play. If he does play, we know he's not 100. Byron didn't get back, and Byron's still not back. So we know we got some secondary issues. What's the easiest way to help your secondary? Get some pressure on the quarterback, man. Yep. Especially Zach Wilson. He's going to be out there seeing ghosts. They're not going to be able to throw it on the Miami Dolphins if we can get pass rush. So that's one of my biggest things, Smoke. I'm glad you started the show off with that.
Yeah, bring Matt the ghost. of Sam Darnold. That was a crazy quote, man. That was an
So
all-timer.
funny.
You can't ever rat yourself out. That's like, I mean, I've never done this, and if you do this, you're a scumbag. But that's like you cheating on your girl and like showing it to her.
Yeah, and be like, hey, look at this.
Like you can't do that to yourself. You can't say on a press conference, yeah, man, I'm seeing ghosts out there. I have no idea what's going on. That's how you end up as the backup quarterback to Baker Mayfield. Just keep that in mind.
All right. I'm looking at one guy here. All right. On the Miami Dolphins side of things, just to carry off what Bobby was saying about the pass rusher, Smoke was saying, Jalen Phillips, his pressure rate's been high the whole year. He just finally was able to bring the quarterback down in last game against the Bengals. And now I think they're going to come in bunches, man. I haven't gone off the train. Yes, Jalen Phillips Island, it was getting a little smaller. People were packing up. I'm still here, baby. I'm going strong. His motor is too good for him not to do well. Like he has a floor just with his motor, and just imagine what he's gonna do against technique. Like Bobby talked about the beat up offensive line. Let Jalen Phillips go crazy. Let him pin his ears back. And sorry, I'm on a Jalen Phillips tangent. He's good against the run too. He had a couple snaps where he did miss setting the edge, but other than that, like during the season, he's been very good against the run. He's very stout. Obviously, he's very big and athletic. We know what he can do, but I'm looking for him to have a big game. This whole defensive line, like we talked about, I think it's huge. I think our defense stepping up, we all know kind of in the back of our mind. Teddy clearly isn't Tua. We need to have the defense play well for us to win this game. To be honest, I think that's pretty clear that if our defense doesn't play well, we are at risk of losing this game against the Jets, which fucking stinks to even say out loud. So our defense really needs to step up, even if it is without Xavier Howard. The man I'm looking at is Josh Boyer now, because
how do you adjust? How do you adjust
without Xavier Howard? And what do you do other than putting more people in the line of scrimmage? I'll tell you what. He was actually doing very well, because considering the quarterbacks we were facing, Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, he actually kept them in check, right?
Joe Burrow.
So what can he do against a bad quarterback? What can he do? I want to see him, again, I know we might not have Xavier, but against a bad quarterback, the fact that we're doing this stuff against Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, that leads me to believe you have something in store for Zach Wilson. And like Smoke was saying, his bad decision-making. Let's put that on him. Like I said before, let's let Zach Wilson beat himself.
Yeah, I agree.
Let him beat himself. Sit back. Let him make the wrong decision, because that's what's going to happen. If Noah plays, we're losing.
If Noah dresses, I won't watch the game. I'll shut the game off. I'll go outside and I'll waterboard myself.
Chill. Y'all need to chill, bro.
If Noah goes in the game, Bobby, unless we're up 42-0, I have a problem.
No, we're fine. We're fine. I'm not stressed over Jets.
I'd rather see Elijah Campbell.
I think Noah will. If Xavier Howard doesn't play, Noah will be active. In my opinion,
I think it's inevitable. I think he has to be active.
No, he'll have to be active, but he better not see the field.
We'll see.
Right.
We'll
and
see.
Bobby, I want to add something to what you said, because you said I don't stress Jets week. Now, as a fan, I'm cool with that, but this team cannot go into MetLife Stadium with your attitude. They need to come ready to play, because this is not the same Jets team. They are not dog shit. On paper, they are a very good football team. Say what you want about their 2 wins. They have 2 wins. The Ravens also have 2 wins. Do I think they're a better football team than the Ravens? No. But the Jets, at the end of the day, they are 2-2, and none of us anticipated that. I don't care that they played the Browns with Brissett. I don't care that they played the Steelers against Pickett and Trubisky. I don't care. They won 2 games. You have to give them their respect, and they're in a spot like we were when we played Buffalo. This is their Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly.
This is their Super Bowl. This is their first Super Bowl. They are 2-16 against the division. Robert Saleh's message was to close the gap on the division. This team is going to come out and try to smack us in the mouth, because right now, I don't care what they say about Buffalo. You look at the standings, motherfucker, and you look at number 1, and guess whose name's there? The Miami effing Dolphins, baby. We're the best team in the AFC. We're the best team in the AFC East, and no one, especially the Jets, are just going to let us walk into their house and beat the piss out of them. Now, do we have the capability to do that? Yes, but we better not walk into MetLife Stadium thinking shit's sweet, because that's how this team could get beat. That is the only way I see the Dolphins getting beat, is if we walk in there thinking our shit don't stink.
Think about the way Mike McDaniel and Tyreek Hill were talking about, and all the players, how they were more amped for that Bills game. They didn't care about the injuries. They just wanted to walk out of there with a win. Think about how much that meant to us, like us as fans. We want to beat the Bills.
It was huge.
Smoke was delivering it. Guys, the Bills were beating up on us. We're 0-7, whatever for us. That is what we've been doing to the Jets. That is literally what we have been doing to the Jets. Just take all of our hunger, all of our motivation, everything, put that on the Jets. That's what they feel for us. We're in that position now where we are the big dog that people are trying to attack. We are not the hunters anymore. We are the hunted because we're number one, baby. And maybe we're not used to that, but we got to get used to it because that's where we're going to be for the rest of the year, right? So I'm just saying, just be prepared. And don't think shit is sweet because this Jets team, again, with that hunger motivation, it's a divisional game, which usually are always close no matter who it is. I don't care if it was like the prime Chiefs against like a shitty ass team in that division. No matter who it is, division games always seem to be close no matter what. So again, I think you have to come out prepared. And again, the defense has to step it up, knowing that Tua is not playing. Sorry, not to cut you off, Bobby. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine, brother. Now, what I'll say is that's my attitude, 100%. And I feel like I have good reason to have that attitude. I mean, 8-1 in their last 9 games against the Jets. We've been absolutely dummying these idiots that are called New York Jets, but they play in New Jersey. That's always bothered the shit out of me. But the reason I feel that way is because of what I've seen in the past. But Smoke brings up a great point. He says if the Dolphins as a team feel that way, that's a terrible thing because you're just looking past your opponent. You think everything's fine. You're going to walk in there. But the reason I still feel so confident is because listen to any time Mike McDaniel talks. Anytime, like every press conference ever. All it's about is improving, not being complacent. Someone asked him today to grade himself on what he's done this season. He goes, honestly, I'd give myself a bad grade. I'm not one to give myself all the credit. I want to see our team get better, improve. And he just says all the right things, man. I don't know about you guys or Dolphins fans as a whole, but when we hired this guy, I looked at him and I was like, this is not the prototypical football coach. This is not a leader of men. This is not a guy who's going to go out there and want to break kneecaps, Dan Campbell style. But the more I listen to him talk and the more I see his interviews, these guys fucking love him. They bought into him, and his thought process and work ethic is through the roof. This guy, he's got his quarterback calling him at 11 o'clock at night to check in to make sure. And Tua calls
McDaniel beast. He goes, "What up, beast?" And McDaniel's
like, "Oh,
well,
I love this duo, man."
I like
Tua
that.
McDaniel,
but that's how you know they're close, and that's how you know Tua's playing next week. You heard it here first. He is.
He is playing. He is.
Paulie 223 or 233. Sorry,
who's this clown?
Fan. Fucking clown. Well, first of all, thanks for being here. I know you're a Jets fan. You smell, and I know you hate living in New Jersey or wherever the hell you live, and you hate shoveling snow. That's just what you have to do. No disrespect, Bobby. I know you live in Rochester, and Jay lives in Canada, so I probably shouldn't make fun of people shoveling snow.
No, you can do it.
Look, you beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll give it to you. You came back. You were down 10 in the fourth quarter. Tip my cap, but you didn't come back from 35-14 against the Ravens and beat them. They actually beat you 24-9. You had the craziest win of all time against the Cleveland Browns. Look, a win is a win. I'll give it to you. The Bengals scored 27 on you, and you scored 24 points, and you had 4 turnovers in the game. So pipe down. You are not holding this Miami Dolphins team to 7 points. I can assure you of that. The Dolphins are going to score 3 touchdowns minimum. I think the Jets would be blessed to score 13 points because you might have all the gadgets. Well, you think you have all the gadgets in the world, but you don't have Tyreek Hill and you don't have Jalen Waddle. I am not sorry, brother. I'm not sorry at all. And I know Liam Eichenberg is absolutely dog shit, but my God, your offensive line is worse, and he would probably start on your offensive line as well, brother. So get ready for this pass rush because we are going to get after Zach Wilson and we are going to bring him back to where he belongs, and that is 6 feet under and ranked as the 30th quarterback in the NFL.
And Paulie, I know you're in the chat. We genuinely appreciate it. I'm always open to any sort of opposing fans that want to hop in the chat because I'm curious. I'm actually curious, Paulie, and I would like you to comment this.
This is where we want delusional people.
Let me know.
Look, here, I would respect your take if a Jets fan was like, yeah, I think we win 21-20.
Like we squeeze it out.
You know, like you guys have a lot of injuries, this and that. I just like us in a spot here. You think you're gonna blow us out 45-7?
I want to know why.
This is not rookie mode on Madden. I shouldn't even address this. This is blasphemy. You're 2-16 in the AFC East. Pipe down. You got 2 wins. 2 wins. 1 was an absolute miracle. But I already told you, a win is a win. But coming in here saying you're going to blow out the Miami Dolphins, something you've never been able to do, stop it. Stop it, Paulie.
We're going to be
go put a cannoli in your mouth, brother. Go put on the Sopranos and stuff your mouth with a cannoli because that's what you're going to be doing on Sunday by 2 o'clock because by halftime, the game will be over, brother.
Just so you know, I don't know if you're religious.
Just texted me. He said, y'all are going ham on us right now. I need you to chill. That's how we're coming all week, Mike. I know you see us, Mike. Thanks for watching, Mike, but we're coming correct this week, bro. Zach Wilson?
Give
you
me
think
Teddy,
we're scared
baby.
of Zach Wilson? Come on, Mike. You're crazy.
Come on. I think Teddy's better than Zach Wilson.
No, I'm just saying. I don't know if, Paul, you're religious or anything. You should be praying every night that Tua is not playing this game because we might score 100. All right?
Don't even need him.
All right? We're going to beat you by 15, maybe 10 with Teddy. With Teddy 2 gloves.
Can I give you guys another key matchup, in my opinion? What I think, and I've said this before, I might sound like a fucking parrot repeating myself, but I'm just waiting for it to happen because Mike McDaniel is a run-first coach. In his bloodline, he wants to be able to run the football. And this week, more than any, we need to get it going. I mean, the Dolphins on the season, we have 277 rushing yards in 4 games. That is unacceptable. That is unacceptable.
277 total?
We're last in rushing attempts as well.
Yeah, we have 85 rushing attempts through 4
I will say you got to put some context to that. In the Ravens game, we were trailing. In the Bills game, we didn't have the ball. In the Jets game, our quarterback died. So those aren't excuses. Those are facts. That's kind of just what happened. It is what it is. But at the same time, I think this week more than ever, it's time to get it going. Raheem Mostert looked good last week. 69 yards. It was his highest he's had as a Dolphin this year.
Sorry, Jay. Jay.
Raheem's RB1. In my opinion,
after the drop, I know.
Raheem is RB1. He's going to get the work. When he gets the ball and he gets a little bit of a crease, you see the explosiveness. You see what this guy can do with the stone. So I'm looking for us to pound this rock, maybe give him the ball 20 times. I'd love to see Raheem Mostert have 20 carries for 117 yards and a touchdown that went for 45 yards on that Jets ass. Something like that. I just feel like that rushing attack is so due, and McDaniel is so ready to put it on a team. And what better week than a Teddy Bridgewater?
We were running the ball well too last week. Yards per carry. Raheem Mostert had a pretty good game. Yards per carry. It's just we're playing from behind, and we've been playing from behind, and you can't sit there and run the football all game when you're playing from behind. It just can't happen. However, I think our biggest disadvantage, because we're talking about our advantages, our biggest disadvantage is Quentin Williams going up against Liam Eichenberg. That is a problem. It's a disaster waiting to happen. We are not going to be able to run the ball on the left side, which sucks because that's where Teron Armstead is, which is why we need Austin Jackson back so bad, so we could either plug him at left guard or keep him at – I don't know what we have to do. But all I know is Liam is the worst left guard in the NFL. I can't put him on Jesse Davis's level yet, but he's getting there. He is getting there, and I can't believe I'm even saying that. He needs to step up and show out. This is a big week for him where he might not have a job next year because Quentin Williams will eat him for breakfast. I think if we're going to run the football effectively, it's going to be outside the tackle. And sorry, Bobby, but you know what that means. We're going to see that stupid quick pitch outside that's been getting blown up for freaking 2 yards, 1 yard, and just
it's either -4 or it's like a 6-yard gain. There's no in between. There's no in between on that. But no, I mean I agree completely with what you just said about Quentin Williams. He's a beast. He thanked himself after God blessing himself in an interview once. That was one of the funnier things I've ever seen.
Good.
He was like, Kyler Murray, I don't really think he all that. Nah, I'm good.
He's hilarious. I actually fuck with him. But I do want to walk back one point that we made on the show, and Smoke just kind of alluded to it. We gave Greg Little his flowers. We said this guy's great at right tackle. When he gets back, we can put Austin Jackson at left guard.
Were you guys saying he's great? I was just saying he's better.
No, we were saying he was solid. We were like, he's better. He could play right tackle. It'd probably be better than we bump Liam out. Liam's a swing guy.
I think Liam is worse than Greg Little, though.
I'm walking that back a little bit, though. Greg Little is not the best. But like Smoke said, man, got to step up. Divisional game, 10 days rest. The boys are feeling better now health-wise than they've probably felt all year after the training camp ended. So I'm really hoping to see a rejuvenated, ready. I want to see us maul them, man. I want to see us pound this rock. I'd be so excited if we ran the ball 40 times. That'd be awesome because that means we are controlling. Let's control the time of possession in a game one time. Let's control the time. Let's make the game our
what
game
better time
instead of putting our
Teddy
defense out there, dude. I agree, and I wish I was going to the MetLife Takeover. As a promise to all fans out there, we're going to the MetLife Takeover next year. We're getting down to Jersey. We're going to get crazy with the boys. Anyone who's going, let us know in the chat. Let us know in the chat if you're going to the MetLife Takeover.
Speaking of guys who can help because Teddy's playing, this is a guy who I think this is a big week for him. And I know John Embry was speaking bad about him, to be honest. Let's translate. Let's read between the tea leaves there. Clearly, there's an issue there, and we've obviously seen. I got killed for saying this in the offseason, even though I predicted that he's not going to see the field as much because you need to block in this system. Mike Gesicki, with a backup quarterback, usually backup quarterbacks and quarterbacks who aren't that familiar and aren't that experienced, they like to use their tight ends as a safety blanket. Maybe that's going to be.
I don't know. I think Teddy uses Tyreek as a safety blanket.
No, that could be true.
That man was just like Tyreek down there somewhere.
But if Mike Gesicki isn't gonna do anything today, then he won't do anything ever. This is his chance to do something. So Mike Gesicki, I'm looking at you. Maybe try and step it up a little bit. Just try and block, because I'll be honest. Even with all this training camp stuff, and we're thinking like, oh, we haven't seen too many reps, but maybe they're keeping him against inferior talent to see if he can practice blocking. On the play where we almost had the safety when Teddy came into that game against Buffalo, Gesicki didn't even try. It's a dude, just try. So I'm just looking for Mike Gesicki to see if he can do anything here, because, again, against the lowly Jets, even though they're better, they're still the lowly Jets. With Teddy in the game, this is your chance to do something, have an impact on the game, other than that Ravens game where obviously he came up clutch. But, again, I need to see something from Mike Gesicki, or else it is kind of nails in the coffin for him as a Dolphin.
Yeah. No, I agree to a certain extent. Again, it's a long season. Do I think Gesicki's going to get cut if he doesn't go for 115 yards and a touchdown against the Jets? Probably not. But I could see that being the case for Liam Eichenberg, as crazy as that does sound. Like, if he gets absolutely manhandled, it just might be time to move on, because Quentin Williams is not going anywhere. Speaking of people that aren't going anywhere, Sauce Gardner. I think he's a great corner. I think the Jets have two good solid corners, but their safeties. Safeties are absolute dog water. I wouldn't even
LaMarcus Joyner's bad. I like Jordan Whitehead, but LaMarcus Joyner sucks.
They suck. I wouldn't even feed them to my dog. I don't need them getting sick. They're horrendous. And look, I know Sauce is really good, but they're not going to be playing man-to-man against Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. It would just make no sense. And the best part about McDaniel's system, it's not like you're ever going to have Tyreek Hill standing there and lining up with Sauce Gardner. Like, Tyreek Hill's going to be coming in motion, full speed. No corner in the league, I don't care how good you are, has any shot at slowing down Tyreek Hill while he's in motion, full speed before Teddy snaps the ball. It is going to be impossible. Mike McDaniel's offense is flawless. It's literally poetry in motion. It looks like basketball, honestly. Like, even before the ball is snapped, there's just so much going on, so much separation created before the play even starts, that once Teddy actually catches the ball, we already have guys that are 5, 10, 15 yards open. It is unbelievable. And the Jets, I would say their weakness is their safeties and their linebackers' inability to cover. And I think we're going to eat over the middle of the field. And I think we would be very, very foolish to sit there and just try to go one-on-one with Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed. I think that's very, very foolish. But I believe we could take the top off on their safeties, and I think we could feast on the middle of the field.
You know what the problem with being named Sauce Gardner is? Because, like, Sauce is unbelievable. Like, I loved watching him in college. I think he's going to translate to a tremendous professional. But when your name is Sauce, you have to be on point every game.
You have to be him.
If you get burnt and your name is Sauce, like, that's just tough news.
Not a good look.
But another angle I'm looking at, and this is some bullshit storyline type shit, Tyreek Hill was between two teams. It was the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. He ended up coming into the Miami Dolphins, and I look forward to him making Jets fans sit at home and be like, holy shit, this guy could have been on our team. Instead, he just went for 200 yards. He threw the peace sign up right in Sauce's face. He scored 3 touchdowns today. So I'm looking for Tyreek to go crazy. Other fans are worried about Tyreek playing. I'm worried about Tyreek scoring 3 touchdowns. That's where I'm at with this game, because I get it. Sauce is a good player, but this guy hasn't played a Tyreek Hill yet. He's a mutant. He's an alien. He's a freak of nature. He is built different in every term of the word. So good luck. And I'll say this too as well. If Sauce goes out there and puts the clamps on Tyreek, Monday's show, I will have a round of applause for him, because I don't see it coming to fruition. I've been watching football for a long time. I haven't seen many Tyreek Hills. I haven't seen many people that can cover him. So if Sauce does the job, I'll give him his kudos. But right now, brother, I can't see that happening. I think it's going to be he's catching 9 balls.
It's going to be the Jalen Waddle show.
Balls.
I think it's going to be the Jalen Waddle show. I think Jalen.
Teddy didn't even look his way though in the Bengals game. He just did not look his way when Teddy came in.
I mean, I wouldn't even put that on. Teddy looked great. Like, Teddy realistically gave us a chance to win.
Can we talk Teddy for a few minutes? I'm down to talk.
Yeah,
I just want to hit one more thing before we hit Teddy, because that's always the big story. Just about some defensive backs, because if Xavier's not playing, if Xavier's playing, Brandon Jones, Eric Rowe, Javon Holland, we need you to be some dogs out there at safety. You guys are healthy. You guys are playing well. I think it's important that if Xavier, especially, and this is so important, especially if Xavier's not playing, for them to be flying around. Brandon Jones obviously has improved in coverage. He's not great there yet, but we need him to play well. And Eric Rowe will have to step in at some point if they have a guy like Tyler Conklin, who's been playing really well on the tight end. So just some guys to keep in mind there. I just want to note that, just because we're talking about our corners not maybe being ready, not being healthy. That means the safeties are going to have to step up big time. The safeties in the pass rush, we've already noted the pass rush. Jalen Phillips and Manuel Ogba, obviously. Melvin Ingram, shout out to him, obviously. He's been balling. But again, just want to note the safeties that Javon Holland is a future All-Pro, if not already an All-Pro. And we need him to play like it, especially if our corners are. Shout out to Javon Holland, baby.
We got 94 people in here live right now. We only got 40 thumbs up. Hit that like button, think, and you're done. Just like that. Boop, bop, bop. It helps the channel grow. We're trying to hit 3,000. We're at 2.87K. If you haven't already, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We're always here to give you guys fantastic,
Monday,
fresh,
Wednesday,
hot Miami
Friday.
Dolphin takes.
Always do.
Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. Alrighty, let's talk Teddy Bridgewater.
Talk Teddy. Dude.
I do not think he was bad against the Bengals. And the more I watch that interception, I think it's more on Gesicki. Teddy saw the blitz coming. Gesicki needs to know, hey, I got a hot route. I need to catch this ball and turn around and expect the ball. He didn't. It ended up being an interception. That's miscommunication. They have 10 days to figure all of that out. Do I think Teddy Bridgewater is as good as Tua Tagovailoa? Absolutely not. Do I think Teddy is as good as Zach Wilson? I'd say it's closer. I mean, you could give the edge to Teddy. You could give the edge to Zach Wilson. For argument's sake, you could give the edge to Zach Wilson. I'll give it to you. But Teddy Bridgewater on the road is 24-6 against the spread. Teddy Bridgewater on the road is great. He's the best backup in the league for a reason. And it's not like he's driving a Honda Prius. It's not like he just got off the airport at JFK and he went to the Hertz and they're like, sorry, man, the only thing we have left is this dumpy fucking Prius. No disrespect to Prius drivers. This man is whipping a fucking Bugatti. Shout out Top G.
Tesla, bro.
Teddy
B. Bro.
Tesla,
that shit drives itself.
Bugatti. I don't care. No, dude, this is not a Tesla. This is a fucking engine. This is a V28 engine. I don't even know if that's a thing, but that's what it is, dog.
I don't know.
That's what it is. It's Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Cedric Wilson. This is a Bugatti. And guess what? We took out the insurance. You know why? Because we have a backup quarterback in Skylar Thompson who could go out there and fill in. God forbid something happens to Teddy. But you think I'm sitting here tripping that Teddy can't get the ball to these guys? You're out of your mind. Teddy made some great plays against the Bengals. Great plays. That 3rd and 10, that scramble was fantastic. He threw a ball 65 yards in the air to Tyreek Hill. And only if we knew how to score at the 3-yard line.
Air, bro.
He's got a chooch, and he's got a huge schlong. He's got a schlong.
He does.
Pull that picture up. Pull the picture up, Bobby.
The tripod.
I don't have
the picture.
You think I got the picture on deck like that, bro?
Type in
I'll
Teddy
pull it up.
Bridgewater, Louisville schlong.
Your FBI agent's going to enjoy this.
He's got a freaking schlong. Anyway, I think Teddy's going to be good enough to win this game, man. Because I don't need Teddy to go out there. Like he said, I'm not trying to be Drew Brees. I'm not trying to be Tua. I'm trying to be Teddy. And Teddy being Teddy is good enough for me against the Jets. And like I said, I respect this Jets team, but I don't think they have as much talent as the Miami Dolphins. I just don't see that yet. And look, he's got tons of experience, and with experience comes wisdom. And that wisdom is going to allow him to protect the football, make the right reads, and if it's not there, do something that Tua doesn't, and that's throw the ball away. I'm confident in Teddy, but if Teddy goes out there and he stinks the bed up, by all means, you could bring in Skylar Thompson, and I ain't got a freaking problem in the world.
I agree, Jay. If you want to go for a second, because I'm trying to pull up this.
No, you're good. Oh, he's trying. Which, by the way, which is crazy, super sus. But we'll move on. Like Smoke desperately wanted that picture being pulled up. No, I agree, guys. Like, listen, I think Teddy
Bobby didn't look hard enough.
You gotta go to Ghost Twitter.
No pun intended. Look what I typed in. Teddy Bridgewater, Louisville schlong. Guy's got a fucking hammer.
Yo,
Teddy
your
Long.
FBI agent is
Teddy Two
thinking, what
Gloves.
is this guy on, bro?
All right. Let's get that off before we get flagged or something crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna get demonetized, bro.
Major pause all the way around from the boys.
Yeah, major pause.
115 people, 50 likes. Hit the like button. Come on, Finn's family. Come on.
I was gonna say, man, Teddy gives us a good chance to win.
Likes.
Listen, we're in such a tough spot because I do want to give credit to the Jets and Robert Saleh and what they've built, but also I do think Teddy can win us a game, and that's speaking to something because Teddy, there's Tua, there's a lot of people in between, then there's Teddy. So I'm good with it. That's crazy. No, but I'm good with Teddy. I think he gives us a good chance to win. I think we are going to win 4-1, and let's. I tweet this. This is going to be the least exciting game of our season, and that's unfortunate, but it's still like decently exciting. At least as a division rival team, we're obviously still fired up Friday, of course. I just want to shit kick the Jets and let's keep her moving.
Here's my thing, though. I don't feel the same way. Like the more I hear that, I don't, because if we come out flat and lose this game, I don't want to say beating Buffalo means nothing, but imagine beating Buffalo and losing to the Jets. I don't care who's playing, who's not playing. You're 3-2. At the end of the day, you're 3-2, and us Dolphin fans, right? We're hype. We're like, oh my God, we're gonna finally make the playoffs. Boom, week 18 comes, right? And it's like, damn, well, what if we would have beat the Falcons? Damn, what if we would have beat the Raiders? Damn, what if we would have beat this team? What if we would have beat that team? We had this game as a circle W the second the schedule came out. You cannot lose must-win games. Yes, must-win, divisional game. You cannot lose, because if you lose this game, I know when we look at the standings right now in the AFC, you see Miami Dolphins number 1. If they lose this game, you will see them behind. Actually, no, we'll be up 1 game on the Jets in the division. But we would both be 3-2.
Oh,
we would
so
both
gross.
be 3-2.
Oh my God.
And it'd be fucking disgusting. And the odds are Buffalo is going to steamroll the Pittsburgh Steelers. And how sick would you be if they were 4-1 and the Miami Dolphins were 3-2 on a loss to the freaking Jets?
No, you ripped the Smoke. The team can't take this game as a joke. They can't think it's an easy dub. They can't look ahead to Minnesota next week. The Dolphins have to go to MetLife Stadium and take that bitch over, like I know that the fans are going to. Shout out anyone that's going to that game. I respect you. I will be there next year, like I said. But when you lose your starting quarterback, right, especially Tua, who we've talked about this year, everyone's moved him up their power rankings a little bit with Tua. Tua's looked great. And when usually in the NFL, when you lose your starting quarterback, it's like, oh, shit, season's over. The guy we're going to bring in here fucking stinks. He's no good. Teddy Bridgewater is not that. Teddy Bridgewater is the absolute definition of average. He's average quarterback. And when you look at the weapons that we always talk about, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki can go 50-50 with a ball like anybody else in the league. Like Cedric Wilson, great player. Running backs are solid. Teddy Bridgewater is more than capable to steer the ship for a week or two, keep this thing on track, keep us in the mix where we want to be. Because like Smoke said, a loss to the Jets after beating the Bills, that's a kick in the dick. That sucks. That does not feel good. But at the same time, I think Teddy's going to go out and get it done. I mean, Teddy in 2019 with the Saints took over the same role, had to come in for an injured Drew Brees. What did Teddy do? He went 5-0 with a 99.1 quarterback rating. I mean, last year, Teddy on the Broncos, everyone wanted to say, oh, Teddy's terrible. Teddy was so bad. He went 7-7, a.k.a. average. In his 14 games, he threw 7 interceptions. That's awesome. He's taking care of the football. That's all we want Teddy to do. Be efficient. Take care of the football. Don't turn it over. Get it into your playmakers' hands and let them make plays, because that's what they're going to come out here and do. And I said it before. I feel like with this Dolphins offense at quarterback, it's almost like a Tesla where it can drive itself with this tremendous play calling you're getting from the coach, the tremendous talent you have outside, and then hopefully you add a run game to that. It becomes just a little bit easier for Teddy. So I'm confident. I am oozing with confidence that the Dolphins go out and take care of the Jets this weekend. Anything less than that would be a disappointment, a setback, a letdown. It'd be disgusting to me. And we'll come on here on Monday with clown faces on if we lose to the Jets, because that's not what we do. We're the Miami Dolphins. We don't lose to the New York Jets. Bottom line.
Jumpman 1518 said, if we don't dominate this game for 60 minutes in every way, then we are not as good as we think we are, and there is some serious work that will need to be done. 10 days rest to prepare, fins up. I disagree with this statement. 1, we are banged up. 2, the Jets are not as bad as we thought, and if you look at the games that we've recently played against the Jets, We've only won by 7 points. It's not like we've been blowing out the Jets. And I don't know if you remember last year, Tua threw a pick 6 in the fourth quarter and the Jets tied it up. We beat them by 7. By no means have we ever been able, at least recently, we haven't been able to dominate the Jets for 60 minutes. A win is a win. With all the injuries that we have, we don't have our starting quarterback. We might not have Xavier Howard. All of our guys are banged up, and I'm not making excuses. I still expect to win this game no matter who is not playing. But I don't think the Jets are some pushover because, look, they played the Steelers. They won 24-20. They played the Bengals. They lost by 15. Played the Browns, won by 1. Played the Ravens week 1 with dumpy-ass Joe Flacco. They lost 24-9.
Joe Flacco might be better than Zach Wilson. So,
Zach Wilson's better than Joe Flacco.
I'm just saying. Putting it out there.
He's better than Joe Flacco. Come on.
Debatable.
Right now,
Honestly,
Joe Flacco's got a
I'm literally just going to say I'm putting it out there.
I think that's truly debatable, Smoke. Look what Flacco's done.
Whatever. I'm not going to sit here and make an argument for Zach Wilson. I could care less. I really could care less. True. I'm just saying, do not expect to go into this game and expect us to dominate for 60 minutes. We are a 3-point favorite. We are a 3-point favorite. The line should be -7. If Tua was playing, sure, I could see it at -4.5, -5. Do not just think we're going to go in and win by 20 points because even last year, when the Jets were worse than they are now, we won by 7. 7. Close that yearbook. I don't care if Teddy was a Pro Bowler in 2015.
I'm just saying. I'm just Mac Jones is a Pro Bowler.
He's good though. He's a great backup. He's exactly what you want in a backup, and he could start for an NFL team right now.
Your car insurance analogy you put out on Wednesday.
No, that was great.
It was one of the better analogies I've ever heard. You pay your car insurance so that when something happens, you have an easy replacement plan, and that's exactly what Teddy's going to be. I'm so confident. I'm so confident in Mike McDaniel scheming him up 10 days for a right-handed player. It's going to be good. I feel great about this game. I already wrote my final score prediction down in my phone so that when Smoke says the same one as me, he's got to somehow be copying me. I don't know how he's doing it, but he is somehow. He's got my phone bugged or something. But the Dolphins are going to win this game. I feel confident. I feel good.
Oh, I thought Jay was going to tag along. Anyway, that's perfectly fine. No, you're fine. You're fine. I feel good about it too. And there's one thing that I want all three of us to talk about. But before we do that, hit the like button, man. Got 108 people in here, not enough likes. I don't like asking for likes. I feel like a peon. Just hit the like button so I don't have to ask. I love all you guys here. 110 people listening live.
Tap the
Life
button.
Is good.
Easy.
Fired up Friday. You're done. You're done with work. The only thing you have to worry about for the rest of the week is hitting the like button and watching the Dolphins on Sunday. All right, so which player are you looking forward to the most? Who is your key player for the Miami Dolphins to win? I'll start. Now, I have 2. One, Liam Eichenberg. He needs to have a big day. I'm not saying he has to completely shut down Quentin Williams. I don't think that's a reasonable goal. He needs to be serviceable. And I'm not a big PFF guy, but you can't have a grade of 33. There has to be some truth to that pudding. I watched the tape. You are not good. You are clearly the weak link to this offensive line. Step up and make a name for yourself. Step up. Make a name for yourself. And then the second guy I got, it's really the unit, the defensive line, but more so Jalen Phillips. He got 1 sack last week. I want 2. I want 2 sacks this week. Emmanuel Ogbah, I want to see pressure. Melvin Ingram, Christian Wilkins, Zach Sealer. We should have a field day. I think Roquan's back, right? Did he play last week against the Bengals?
Yeah, Raekwon should be back.
Did you just hear all those names I just said, though? If we can't get pressure on the quarterback, we got a problem, bro. That's a unit. That's a top 7. That's a top front 7 in the league. Those boys need a big day. I want 2 sacks from Phillips, and I need gosh darn Liam to step up and act like he belongs in this league.
Jay, you go next because I got 2.
Okay, I'll go next because I was gonna go JP, but listen, I got stuff locked up. I'll give you 1 offense, 1 defense. Offensively, we already talked about it. Raheem Mostert, you can throw Edmonds in there too, but I do think we're going to be heavy rushing attack. So Raheem Mostert got to step it up a little bit. Listen, he was trending better last week, but the weeks before wasn't great. Again, there's a lot of context around that. The offensive line still with that. There's a lot of things that coincide with the run game, but Raheem Mostert definitely needs to step it up. Want to see a good run game here. So offensive line, you play into that. Liam Eichenberg specifically, like Smoke up, you play into that a lot. So want the run game to be better. Defensively, I will say, a guy who finally stood out to me, especially in the Bills game, Jerome Baker is going to be huge in this game. Big Bake. The first 2 games, I thought he was MIA. I didn't know where he was, Jerome Baker. The Buffalo game, he stood out a lot to me. I want him to eat for breakfast now what he did that morning because I think he's going to be huge in trying that down. They have tight ends. They like to use their running backs out of the backfield. Like the Jets kind of use the middle of the field a lot, I feel like, just because of the way it works. Jerome Baker, I want a big game from you and prove why we gave you that contract. So Jerome Baker on defense and the reason I even said that is because Smoke brought up the front 7. Jerome Baker's a part of that. You want Jerome Baker to, help out and be the linebacker because we know Landon Roberts isn't doing shit unless it's the goal line and it's a run.
Whoa. No, I'm glad you said that. He is one of the best run stoppers I've seen.
So here's my thing.
His ability, he's one of the reasons why we have one of the best run defenses in the league.
Smoke. If it's not a run play between the tackles, he's useless.
Facts, but when it is a run play between the tackles, he's so very useful.
If he's your third rotational backup, like your third guy in your inside linebacker room in a 3-4 formation, I'm good with that. But the fact that he's a full-time starter, that's why we want a guy like Channing Tindall to kind of meet up and be that guy. Because, again, if it's not that one specific situation in offensive system, then he's kind of useless. So, obviously, I want Jerome Baker to step it up here.
That's the dumbest comment I've ever
seen. Big facts. DTA killer. That's my dog right there.
Why did you even pull that up, bro?
That's my dog right there.
I should have blocked that.
Yeah, that was terrible.
But Jay just said it himself. The Jets have some tight ends. They have some running backs. They like to hit some shit over the middle of the field. Those are some of my reasons for saying that this man right here, Javon
Canadian boy, yes sir, Canadian killer.
I want him to be the boogeyman for the Jets. Like yearly. This isn't a one-time thing. I want the Jets fans to think about when they play the Miami Dolphins, oh shit, number 8 is back there and he's coming to ruin our life.
That's what the Bills fans are thinking.
Exactly. We have some injury concerns. Xavier might not go. Obviously, Keon Crossan has been out there. We have Kohu who's been out there. A bunch of young guns. Holland's a young gun himself, but he plays like a mature vet in this league. He is the leader, the heart and soul of this defense to me, and it's time for him to step up. Confuse Zach Wilson. I'm thinking that this guy might end up with an interception and a sack, which is a weird combo in the NFL to have both an interception and a sack. But when you blitz Javon Holland, he's the best pass rusher on the team. When you throw his way, I won't lie, some of the times he looks for the big hit instead of the interception, which I kind of almost respect because that's like old school football. Like someone comes across the middle of the field, I'm going to let them know what my name is. I'm going to fuck you up. But sometimes you got to look for that pick, and he does have the ball skills. He catches punts. We know what he can do with it. So I'm looking for Javon Holland to have an absolutely massive day. I said I had 2. Jay already covered my other one. It's Mostert. I'm looking for Mostert to go crazy. His prop this week on DraftKings.
Let me put him in my starting fantasy lineup right now.
55 rushing yards. 55 rushing yards. I think that goes over easy. I think he's going to run for 100 for the first time this year. The Dolphins have a 100-yard rusher. Maybe it's a hot take. Maybe it's not, but that's what I'm going on record as saying.
I think the defense is going to have to play their ass off, as they always do. But obviously, we have Teddy at the helm. Again, we didn't say he's bad. He's obviously not as good as Tua. But I think the most important thing for the Dolphins, aside from getting pressure on the quarterback, they have to win the turnover battle. We have to get turnovers. 100%. We didn't get a turnover 100%. Last week. We lost the game. If we get a turnover or more, if the Dolphins get 2 turnovers this game, I am guaranteeing a victory. If they get one, it might be a sweat because I think we could give one back. If this team generates more than 1 turnover, there is no way in hell I see the Miami Dolphins losing this game, because when you get turnovers, you get extra possessions, you get better field position. In hell, with the guys we have back there, they might even score a freaking touchdown.
Yeah,
turnovers are the key to this game. If the Dolphins get more than 1, I guarantee a victory. If they don't get a turnover, they could lose this game straight up.
Hey, and offense, don't turn over the ball. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Bobby. I think you're about to.
No, I was just going to say, Smoke already ripped it. No turnovers. There's 3 pillars I talk about before every Dolphins game, so why wouldn't I repeat it again this week? I'm going to say it every Friday show.
Yes, sir.
Win the turnover battle. Win the penalty battle. Score points in the red zone. 6 points in the red zone. Touchdowns in the red zone. If you do those 3 things, this Dolphins team with all this talent is going to be tough to knock off to any team in the league. We've already beat the Bills. The Bills, everyone's power rankings, it's either Bills or Eagles, and the Eagles play in the bummy-ass NFC, so no one really gives a fuck about them. But we already did it with the Bills. When you go out there and you can even get dominated in the time of possession like we did against the Bills, You win the turnover battle. You win the penalty battle. You score points when you get to the red zone. That is the key formula to success. And that's not just for the Dolphins. That's any team in football. Those are 3 simple pillars. I'm going to bring them up every week. And if we take care of business there, I don't see any reason why we don't win this football game.
We could lose the penalty battle as long as we win the turnover battle against the Jets. I'm fine.
That's
Obviously,
more important.
I don't want to lose the penalty battle. Just the Dolphins don't win unless they get a turnover. Like, we didn't get 1 turnover against the Bengals. We lost. We got turnovers against Buffalo. We got turnovers against Baltimore. And we got turnovers against the New England Patriots.
Rank the 3 pillars
we were 3-0.
The 3 pillars. 3-0. I would rank them turnovers 1, points in the red zone 2, penalty battle 3. Because you can get away with the penalty battle.
Yeah.
But it's just annoying sometimes watching a game when your team's just shooting itself in the foot constantly. And one more thing for this Dolphins team that I'd really like to see is 2 more things, actually. Sorry. First, tackling. Tackling.
It's been horrible.
If you get someone in open field, you got to tackle them. If you get to the quarterback in the backfield, I'm so sick of these arm tackles. Quarterback steps up and makes a play. And that leads me to my next point. Get off the field on 3rd down. I'm sick of these 3rd and 4s where it's like, all right, if we get off the field here, we get the ball back, everything's looking great. All of a sudden, he drops back, nothing's open, scrambles around, finds some bullshit. It's been too sloppy on 3rd down defensively. I want to see the boys step up. I want to see us get off the field, and I want to win a fucking time of possession battle. I'm sick of our defense playing 90 plays and our offense playing 40. Yep. It's ridiculous. Let's get off the field. Let's tackle. Let's get some turnovers. Let's win that battle. And
it's self-inflicted, though. Like, the defense doesn't do themselves any favors. Like, this bend, don't break, you're going to be on the field. Like, if you want to bend and get the fuck off the field, you have a lot more time to rest. But if you want these 3rd and 2s, 3rd and 4s, and then they milk the clock for 6 minutes, then you stuff them at the 30-yard line and you hold them to a field goal, hallelujah, I'm glad that they didn't score 7, but now you're on the field for 30 minutes. You know? You can't do that. It is what it is. That's how our defense is right now, and that's how it's going to be. The only thing, I see it a little different this week. We're going to have to be a very zone-heavy team this week. We cannot play man coverage at all right now. It's not happening. Xavier Howard is not fully healthy. And look, I don't think he was out of position on T. Higgins. He missed it by a dick hair. It happens. Like, he's going up against T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. He's going up against great football players. It's not like he's going up against some freaking scrub. And Rashad Bateman, surprise of the year. He has been great. He's been great this year. So I know X has his bumps and his nicks, and it hasn't been his great year. I get that. He's still an elite piece of this defense.
I agree.
And you can't run the same defensive scheme unless he's on the football field. I don't care how you feel about Xavier Howard. You cannot run the same scheme without him. So if he's banged up or if he doesn't play at all, this team is going to have to rush 5 and drop 6. That is their only way, because you cannot leave Kader Kohu, no disrespect, who's played great. Cannot leave Keon Crossan, who's played pretty well, banged up. You can't leave those guys one-on-one because Garrett Wilson's great. Elijah Moore is great. Corey Davis is honestly their number 1 target right now. And he's very solid. They have wide receivers too.
Braxton Berrios,
I just think ours are better.
I mean, I think it's score prediction time. I think we've said what we've said. We put it all on the line. I'm predicting a Dolphins win, and I'm going to go before Smoke because Smoke always steals my
27-23 Dolphins.
You're close. I got Dolphins scoring 27. But I got the Jets scoring 17, 10-point win. It's not going to – it's going to be a comfortable one. It's going to be a comfortable one. We're not going to be sitting there in the 4th quarter like, oh, my God, what the fuck is going on right now type shit like we have in the past. Dolphins take care of business, 10-point win, 27-17.
I'm not going to lie. I got this one being an ugly one. I'm going 17-13 Dolphins. Wow. I think it's going to be ugly, but I still think our defense pulls it out, and I think our offense does just enough with Teddy Bridgewater to steer the ship, put up just enough points to win. I think we'll be ahead the whole game, and I think like 17-13 seems like it'll be relatively close. I just think it'll be ugly in terms of putting up points.
I think the Dolphins win the game in the 4th quarter. I think me and Bobby are going to be texting each other absolutely pissed off. What is this fucking team? I can't stand this team. Why do they do this to us every single fucking year? And then the Dolphins are going to win in the 4th quarter by 7 points like we always do. We're going to win the game, Bobby. We're going to win the game. I just
believe me. I agree. And you know what's bullshit, bro? I live in the state of New York, so usually my local channels, I'll have either the Giants, the Bills, or the Jets. One of the three. The Bills play at the same time as the Jets this week, so I'm not going to get the Dolphins game on local cable, and I'm going to have to stream it like an absolute Neanderthal. Smoke will be texting me 3 plays ahead. It'll be brutal, but we'll figure it out. We will figure this thing out, man.
We got 111 people here live. Thank you guys so much. 115 now. You guys have no idea how much it means to me to have you guys in here, blowing up the chat as you guys do. If you haven't already, hit the like button. If you haven't already and you're new to the channel, you want to be a part of this, we're trying to hit 3,000 subscribers. Hit that subscribe button. It means the world. We had our first 2 donators today.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Like that was so humbling. That was unbelievable. One of the best feelings of all time. I love you guys so much. Thank you for giving me your time of day. I know how valuable it is, and I hope to see you guys back here on Victory Monday at 5 p.m. And as always,
woo!
Fins up!
Fins up! Come on,
Fins up, baby. Let's get it.